Just like that, we are back. Sharpside Sessions Season 3. Here in Tulsa's most Tulsa barbershop. Boom. Just like that, we are back. Sharpside Sessions Season 3. Here in Tulsa's most Tulsa barbershop. Sharpside, where it's always sunny. And today's a special day because I got a very special guest, a Mvskoke Seminole, Tulsa-based artist. This artist's artwork is so captivatingly sexy that it's got the attention of talented artists like Doja Cat. You know, even bigger than that, they are headlining spotlight artists next week in my first curated show in over a year, Erotic. So without further ado, Dan Rocky. We'll fix it in editing, right. Your presence is a blessing here, and not only that, working with me for Erotic, which we've been planning for I don't know how many months now.
It's been a couple months.
Yeah, so this isn't your first time in the barbershop.
I was born in this barbershop.
Right, this is your barbershop.
I own
I'm
this
visiting you.
now.
Sharpside Dan. But no, like everybody knows your work. They're familiar with it. They've seen it all over town. You told me you've been working on some new stuff. Can you talk about that?
So I've always been inspired by 80s art, which I think you can tell with the murals that you've seen around town. And Patrick Nagel is a big influence for that. But I've always been inspired by another artist of the 80s named Peter Sato. He does a lot of these beautiful airbrush art, and I've always been super intimidated by that. And when I first started, my style was very realistic and focused on that. And then I took the sharp turn into the pop art.
Yeah.
And so now I'm kind of leaning heavily into the thing that I've always been inspired by and have wanted to reference, but I didn't have the balls to like push myself to do that. And I just did it on a whim, and it kind of blew up for me. And it was weird because I don't seek validation from social media, but I just somehow received a shit ton of validation for this style. And
when it's real and it's raw and it's true, I mean, the art speaks for itself.
I mean, like within a month of changing my style, that's when like huge people from outside of Oklahoma started reaching out to me. And I think that's something that I've always been fighting for, because I always seen myself as a Tulsa artist, and I'm not above being a Tulsa artist because it's my roots, but I feel like once I hit the glass ceiling of what it is to be a Tulsa artist, it wasn't enough for me.
Right.
And so I'm hungry for something more.
One reason, and this was one of the biggest reasons I chose to do Erotic with you, and I've told Cody in the barber shop so many times, I'm like, Tulsa doesn't even deserve to have Dan. And I'm like, we should be putting Dan on a pedestal. And, you know, and I see your work going that far. When you talk about your work with Patrick Nagel, and how your work is inspired by him. But my bias is like, Dan's so much cooler than Patrick Nagel. Because I do, but I know, like I said, I am a bias, and I'm not Mr. Art Major. But like, your artwork takes me to a different place. It's like, it's louder, it's saying something, like, I don't know, there's a lot more movement, and yeah, I love it. But like, the fact, like when I was planning Erotic, originally when I do Erotic, it was like, I have 8 to 12 different artists. And this year I was 6-7 months ago, I had all these artists listed out, and your name was at the top. And the more I went on, I'm like, you know what? If Dan says yes to Erotic, then that would legitimize it so much more. And yeah, I hope. You know what? I know it's gonna be such a good night. I'm just ready to celebrate your work and your success and your future success.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Do it, yeah.
I'm like going this way. Can I?
Are you drifting? Oh, my bad. We got good bloopers this time. That's too much for it.
I just was like going, like more and more I talked, I was like, damn, I feel closed off as fuck. Okay.
What do you want to talk about in terms of your art? Like, so you're now experimenting with more airbrush art?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of digital airbrush, which feels like I'm cheating, but my goal is to fully teach myself actual airbrush. I want to be at the level of the greats, like Tulsa State Fair level. That's where I want to be. I want to be like putting Hello Kitty on a t-shirt.
That's so interesting. So, but you're going for the same type of like 80s pop, but you're now implementing airbrush.
Yeah, there's always been such a beautiful thing about tacky art, like kitschy, tacky. People consider it bad art, and I love bad art.
Is that a vulnerable experience for you? Like showcasing a new style of art, especially when you're so like appreciated at your current?
I don't think so because I will just do what I want to do always. I'm very stubborn and hard-headed that even if people didn't like it, I liked it, that I would keep doing it.
Yeah, as you should.
Like that's what I mean when I like focused on myself, is that I don't think I care too much. I mean, I care a little bit. I think everyone cares a little bit, but I try to ignore all of that because I know what I want and I know what I like and I know what I want to reference.
Right.
And I just am so headstrong on that goal that it will come out organically, regardless if I want it to or not.
When did your style form?
So I want to say like the pop art mural style that I do formed when I was 24. I went through like a insane breakup and I left my ex and I gave him the apartment. I gave him everything and I said, I just want my cats and my car. And then the next day I traveled to OKC and I stayed a week there and painted my very first mural. And that style formed while I was painting that mural. And then I thought, this is kind of awesome. I kind of want to keep doing this. So I leaned heavily into that style. And that style felt like it kind of protected me and protected a very vulnerable side of me. I don't think I'm outwardly a vulnerable person, but I think my art is the most vulnerable side of me.
So you were doing art, but and then someone asked you to do the mural?
Yeah, I got into
And was that the first time you were like displaying okay.
Yeah, it was my first time putting myself in a position where people watched me paint. I'm very insecure about people watching my process.
Right.
I like to be perfect always. I like everything to look streamlined and flawless. I don't want people to see the design process.
Right.
And so with murals, it was kind of embracing everything that I'm terrified of. And I love that mural, but I can honestly say it was really bad. It was an awful mural. But I think I appreciate it because I know what it meant to me when I was 24. And that kind of carried me during this time. And then now, I think when I turned 27, I felt like cheesy, but like reborn somehow. And like I went through a lot of life changes and there was a lot of stuff happening that I kind of said, fuck it.
Right.
And I embrace kind of more the bigger fears that I have and trying things I've never tried before. So this new art style feels like it's carrying a new form of me as I go through the new section of my life. Like this is the next chapter.
Right.
And it's a very stable chapter. I feel the most stable. Like I have tunnel vision of exactly where I'm going and I know what that looks like.
I think it's beautiful. I think it aligns like so ironically with erotic because like I haven't done curated an event in over a year and I took a break just because the volume was too much. I was losing my drive. And so when I came back, I'm like, if I'm gonna come back, I wanna do it correct. And Luke Lefeste, sorry if I messed up your last name, Luke, with Experience Tulsa, I cut his hair and he came in one day. He was like, "You got to do erotic again," and you know, and then you kept on coming in my mind. I was like, this is the perfect scenario. I have to do it. Erotic has always been about humanizing people. The very first erotic I did was because we were having art shows here on a Sunday afternoon out from the barbershop, and a lot of the art was very sexually charged, and there's a lot for a Sunday. People leaving church and passing through, and there's like BDSM art on the side of the sidewalk, broad daylight. So I wanted to give a space to where the artist I was working with at that time was like, hey, no rules, be you, this is the space to do it. And in that, you know, I wanted the people attending to be confronted in a sense like, this isn't what turns on Sharpside art show. This is erotic art show. And, you know, art is subjectional. And when you come into a space and maybe you might see something that you don't agree with, but this is not the space to be like, that's not right, that's not wrong. And that's in this scenario, that scenario, you're the weird one, you know? So it's been my most humanizing event, and it's been gone great. And it's got this reputation of being like a fun, you know, slutty party. That's my what people like imagine of it. But the truth is, this is an art show, and an arts focused art show with a legitimate artist, and always has been. Sometimes it's hard to portray on Instagram. Getting back on track, when I came back to do this, I wanted to also show an elevation in my curation. By working with you, you've been able to help me a lot. My boy Cody, booking link in his Instagram bio.
I think that it's like a very cohesive concept too, because by working with you on this, people have always viewed my art as sexual, but I've never intentionally made it sexual. Like, I always just wanted to draw powerful, most of the time women, because I was raised by women, like my mom, my grandma, my aunts, my cousins. I was raised by nothing but women, and strong, feisty, mean ass women. It makes me mean as hell, but I'm a little sensitive baby. But like, I've always wanted to embody that because
I'm scared of Dan. True story. We went to Miami, Tulsa-based. We got to go to Art Basel. And I want to say the first thing you ever said to me, never met Dan in my life. She's like, you owe me $5, don't you? You never send me back. Yeah, $5. And I'm like, did I meet Dan before? And she loaned me $5? That was funny. I can see the influence from time to time. We walk. I feel like you walk into no room afraid.
Well, yeah, it's like, because my mom is a big influence for me. A single mom. She raised me alone. She was like, we grew up in North Tulsa, poor as hell, and she went to college full time and worked a full-time job and did everything she could for me. And she was supposed to go to an art school in Colorado. She had a full ride scholarship, but she got pregnant with me at 19, and she gave all of that up to raise me. And I just feel like it's my duty to fulfill that dream for her. Like, my mom was scared of nothing. And whenever I was graduating high school, I was going to go and study law. That was my big dream. I wanted to be a lawyer, and I wanted to make all this money, and I wanted to like change the like tax bracket of my family, and I wanted to do important shit. And I remember my mom and a teacher who is no longer with us, but he was very close to me. He sat me down and he was like, I think that you would make a great lawyer because you're smart, you are well-spoken, and you're driven, but I don't think you'll be happy. I think you'll be happy doing art. And my mom told me, she was like, you're gonna do great in college, but I don't think it's for you. I think you should pursue art. And so when I graduated, I did that. But all of that to say, like, inherently my art wasn't sexualized because I was just painting powerful women as I saw them. I didn't look at them through this sexualized gaze. I looked at them as like, I want to draw the most untouchable, badass person I've ever seen. And I want to do it as a love letter. That
transcends every piece.
Yeah.
Like every piece is bold and powerful through the colors, to the postures, to everything.
But I think I was scared of like it being sexualized so much that when you brought this to me, I was like a little intimidated, but then it kind of allowed me to embrace the inherent sexuality of like myself and like in art and how I experience it.
Because there's also empowerment in that.
Yeah, there's empowerment in sexuality, and I always been really weird about how I go about that because it felt that's where I think the vulnerability came for me. And then when we started talking about this, I started envisioning myself doing art that I've always wanted to do, but I was too scared to try. And that's where a couple of the pieces that are going to be in erotic are going to showcase for the very first time. And it feels like I'm embracing a lot of things that I've been scared of, and I'm giving a voice to my art that isn't just powerful. Like I want to get to a point where I can also embrace the other emotions, and like people don't need to be tough and strong and driven all the time. Sometimes people can feel submissive, or sometimes people can feel hot. But like I just always want to make sure that my art, for me first and foremost, is going to be for me.
That gave me chills. I mean, I'm so excited to see it.
Let's talk about the inspiration behind your art. Why 80s art?
Yeah, so my mom, she was born in 78. She was a young child in the 80s, so I don't know why it resonated with her. She was like a teenager in the 90s. But when she was raising me, we lived in this 2-bedroom house in North Tulsa. It was my grandpa's, and my grandpa allowed my mom to live there. And like a lot of my family came in and out, but it was always me and my mom at the core of this house. And she had her bedroom, which she was raised as a teenager in, and I was like, this house is the house I was born in, literally born in, like born in the toilet. I'm a toilet baby. God bless. But like I was born in this house.
The North Tulsa house.
And my mom still lives there to this day. Like this house has always been there. And she had the room that ended up being my childhood bedroom was her room. And as she was raising me, she had this Patrick Nagel, like giant poster on the wall. And it's like this sensual woman, and she's like turned away
And
from
what ages is this?
This is my entire childhood. Yeah, like my mom always had it. My mom, she's very sure of herself, and she never made me feel like things were like inappropriate. Like she never sexualized this painting. She just liked it because the art form was beautiful.
Yeah.
But it was a Patrick Nagel piece, and I remember like a butt crack on it. Like you could see her butt crack. And I just thought, that is the most amazing woman I have ever seen in my life. And,
what a goddess.
And I remember people thinking it's like, Patrick Nagel's art now is seen as like nail salon art.
I was about to say, because that's where I recognized it. And honestly, I didn't recognize the name until I started to really appreciate your art.
Yeah,
and then I started hearing other people say his name. And then, early days of mom taking me to the salon. And seeing that up on the wall.
Yeah, I remember seeing it and thinking that's the most beautiful piece of art that I've ever seen. Like I've seen Monet, and I've seen Van Gogh, and I've seen all of like art history 101 kind of art, and that's beautiful, but it didn't resonate with me.
Right.
This piece resonated with me, and my mom also raised me on new wave 80s music. So like Depeche Mode, The Cure, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, like all of this music. And so I grew up as a kid going to school with all of these awesome references, and nobody knew what the hell I was talking about. And like my mom, we didn't have cable, so I didn't get to watch like Disney Channel with kids, but I watched like my mom's DVD collections, which was a lot of like John Hughes movies, like Brat Pack movies. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is my favorite movie of all time.
Was the Max the first commission piece you had?
Oh, no, but that was like a match made in heaven. Yeah,
she was like, yes.
But yeah, so like I grew up on all of that shit, and I remember feeling so other as a kid because all these kids had these cool things they were talking about, and I'm like, my mom raised me on horror movies and 80s movies, and like I'd go to school and like, have you guys seen Breakfast Club? And nobody knew what the hell I was talking about. So I just always felt so...
I was about to say, that must be our age gap, because I'm 33 and I'm like, yeah, that's what's talking about that.
I just remember just being so like it's a known thing. It's not like it's like a obscure thing. But I remember as a kid, I just felt so left out. 'Cause I just like,
Because of your interest?
yeah, I just like things that, it's fucking rude.
Right, God. Pittsburgh.
But yeah, I like things that my mom liked. And then as a teenager, I was an emo scene kid, and I like went so far away from that. And then in my 20s, I just came right back to it. And I feel like that's in my veins. That's my blood, is these obscure references from my mom that I didn't know were obscure. I thought everybody knew this.
That bleeds to your work too. Like when you see it, it's like, oh no, it's not somebody who just started messing around with this. It's like, oh, that's rooted in them. There's something.
I'm a very referential artist too. Like, I'm not afraid to reference. I know what I'm referencing. I know the source material. I research it. It's like a niche obsession. Like, I'll find any Patrick Nagel book I can have and like read all about him, the Playboys he had. It's like obsessive, but it also feels like my goal and my ambition in my art is to pay respect and give so much love to the things that made me who I am. And by doing that, I'm also giving love back to my mom, because I am a carbon copy of her.
We're going to take a break and call our moms. That was beautiful. Well, you've given a lot of nuggets. So I'm like, we don't have plenty of cuts.
Damn, Rocky, the toilet baby.
The toilet baby. Sharpside.
You know the show, I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant? That would be like if my mom existed in the 2000s, she would have been on that show.
Rocky toilet baby. Damn, the Rocky.
Rocky toilet baby.
I heard a quote this past week where it was like, you mean this rock I'm hitting is bottom? And I've been saying it all week because we have this interview lined up in next week. I'm so stoked. February 7th, I think we're going to dodge the storms. Everybody, if you have cabin fever, or even if you don't, it's going to be a blast. I can't wait.
Also, February is just like the most important month to me,
It's starting
too.
to turn around, yeah.
And my mom's birthday is to bring it back to my mom, her birthday is Valentine's Day. She's a Valentine's Day baby. And then 3 days on her 20th birthday, the 17th is my birthday. So that's how
it is
aligned.
Yeah. February is the true new year. It's like January is like the hermit month. It's like where everybody's like, we're not gonna drink this month. It's like there's nothing to do, or whatever. But I've always planned erotic to be like close to Valentine's Day, but I never wanted to be on Valentine's Day weekend. It's a great place to like go on a first date, to bring your wife, to meet a single,
shake your ass,
to observe art. If you don't want to be around the ass shaking, I recommend getting out early. That's why tickets is $20 from 7:30 to 8:30. If you just want to come observe all of Dan's incredible artwork and get out, or you can stay and have a fun time. We're gonna be there till 12:30. Might go later. I don't know. Miles will kick us out. And shout out Miles Rogus. It's gonna be at Face Space, and you just met Miles for the first time, right? Mm-hmm. When we went and toured
like
the studio.
Ago.
What do you think of the studio?
I like that it's small.
Yes.
Every time I do an event, I want it to be intimate, and I want everyone to feel close, and I want the room to hug you. I don't like big like warehouse spaces. Right. I want people to feel connected. And I think that's why this space is so small, and I love it.
Right, and that's why I chose it too. And it's like if you choose a huge venue, then it's like all this like stupid nonsense to worry about. Like how is it going to get filled up? Where it's like I'd rather focus on things that are important. Are the people in the room happy? Are they safe? Are they having a good time? Is the artist satisfied? Is the DJ good? And it's like I can not only that, it just makes it everybody's closer. It's easier for conversations to overlap. It's more of an interactive experience. And Miles' studio is really, really dope. I encourage everybody to come out. Please have a good time with us.
Please.
And you will be missing out if you're not there. I can guarantee you. This may be the only event I do this year. So come out, have a good time. What do you think you'll be doing a year from now?
My goal in a year is this feels lame, but it's like I want to keep doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I get so scared that the art's gonna it's gonna blow up in my face one day, and then like I'm not gonna have opportunities, and people are gonna get sick of me eventually, and like I think that the floor is gonna fall, and I'm so scared of that. So like realistically, my goal is to, if I can even just keep doing it at the pace that I'm doing it, that would mean the world to me. If I wanted to be greedy, I would I think I want to paint a mural outside of the state of Oklahoma.
Right.
Painted 22 murals in the last 3 years. They've all been in Oklahoma, which is beautiful, and I'm grateful. But I want to prove to myself, like I don't need to prove to anybody else. I want to prove to myself that I am bigger than what I think I am right now. And like, I don't think I'm bigger than Tulsa or bigger than Oklahoma, but I want to prove to myself that I can be bigger if I wanted to. I'm just too ambitious and too driven to accept life for what it is right now. And so if I can just keep going at this pace and be crazy and a maniac about it and just keep eating all these opportunities, then I hope in a year from now I can say that I'm still making a living off of doing art. Because, you know, I work full-time job. I do a bunch of side gigs. I just want to be in a position where my art pays for my rent. That's all that I want.
I hope and I pray you keep on trusting your intuition and trusting your process. I hope you dive headfirst into your process like you have been doing. And even asking questions like where you want to be in a year or 5 years, I've asked that to artists, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know, that I don't like that question, because it's like being an artist is like you challenge yourself to dive deeper, to have more growth. I heard a quote the other day. It was like, I couldn't get into rhythm until I found out going backwards was part of the dance. So when I hear that, it's like, okay, that's more than just trying to get to the destination. That is give and take. That is when something comes with you and you added a new inspiration or a new variable, maybe a life, you know, someone's leaving your life or something is happening, and being able to, you know, step back and move forward as long as, you know, you're committed and devoted to your process. Like there is no failing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm not scared to fail. I'm just scared of giving up, you know? Like I hope that art fulfills me forever, and I hope I don't get bored of it, because I get bored of so much in my life. I want art to keep making me feel fulfilled. I want it to be my purpose, and I want it to stay as my purpose, because my art has saved me so many times when I've been unemployed, like when I graduated high school and I didn't know what I was going to do with myself. Art has always been the thing that saved me and has kept me here. Like, as long as I'm alive and I'm healthy and the people I love are alive and healthy, and I can still do art at the rate that I'm doing it, that's all I care about for 10 years, 50 years.
I'm so inspired by you, genuinely, truly. And not only that, I'm thankful for you because of how you're inspiring others, you know, in our community, in our state, and showing, you know, what can be done. And you're self-taught.
Yeah.
Nobody taught Dan. Dan learned on Dan's own. And I think that's incredible. And I think that speaks volumes. And so if you're watching this and you want to be an artist, be an artist. And that can mean everything. Start consuming art, you know, start going to art shows.
Also, there's no such thing as good art or bad art.
Right.
Just make art, and it doesn't matter if it looks good or not.
Right.
And also, if your goal is to sell art, then you're going to be disappointed for a while.
Right.
Like, I didn't make a lot of money I still don't make a lot of money off my art. But my goal isn't to make money off my art. My goal is to just make it for the sake of making it. I have so much inside of me that I just need it to come out. And the only way it comes out in a healthy way is art. It's my
Right.
healthiest relationship. It's
I
the
love
thing
that.
that's kept me it's always been the thing that's kept me together and in control and responsible. Without it, I think I would be a mess of a person. I'd be a wreck all the time. I'd be too impulsive. I'd be weird. I'd be a hermit. It gives me a reason to try.
That was beautiful. That's it for today. Thank you for joining us this Saturday night, February 7th. Erotic is happening at Face Space Studio right here on 11th between Harvard and Yale, next to Black Gold. So come out, have a good time. It's $20 at the door, 7:30 to 8:30. Price will increase as the night goes on. Bring cash. Bring some funyuns. Peace.
I got what it takes, so I gotta take it all back. I told him I need my pay, I need my 50 for tax.